Okay, here's another maybe ironic thought. Does content matter anymore? So with the advent of AI, we've got the ability to go straight from question to answer. Before, it was question, search, wade through the ads, find a web page, and figure out an answer. Now with AI, it's go to the AI, ask the question, get the answer. So on the one hand, I think content will make sense in terms of personalities, content creators, people who want to be famous for the sake of being famous, people that want to help other people spread a message, build a movement, build a community, share their ideas. I think that kind of content is going to continue. But there's a lot of content. We had a term back in the software days when a lot of open source software came out, and it wasn't just open source. It was all over the map. We had this concept of what we call shovelware. So it was just cheap, and people were cranking them out because there were tools back then to do kind of stuff like that. And I think content now, thanks in part to AI and sort of the advances or the ability to automate so much stuff, I think that's going to cause kind of this shovelware avalanche of content, and a lot of that at the exact same time as people aren't searching for content. So I think we're gonna find that, number one, people who are talking about AI and how it's going to change things, I think they will sort of ride this wave rather well, especially when the kind of content that I think will be sticky is what I call discovery. So on Google, you went to Google and you kind of had an idea, you knew what you were looking for, you were looking for something, but you knew what you were looking for. You may have to struggle with keywords to figure out how to find it, but you knew what you were looking for, and you looked for it. Pinterest came along, and Pinterest was kind of the first explosion of discovery. So with Pinterest, you didn't search for something, you just curiously looked through things and said, that looks interesting, and then you went to explore it and check it out. So I think in terms of content moving forward, content that leads you to discovery. I didn't know you could do that with AI, or here's how you do that with AI. Because prompt engineering, there's a whole bunch of debate about that. When you write prompts, most people are going to start with very simple, like send me a picture of a cat, or a cat from Scotland playing bagpipes, or something to that effect. I write prompts that are paragraphs long. They're very structured, but they accomplish specific things. It's interesting how prompting and programming are actually very similar once you get past the initial basics. In software development, we have the proverbial hello world in every language, so you can see the basics of getting your first interaction with a piece of software. And I think a lot of AI examples are literally just equivalents of that hello world. How to get a picture of a cat playing bagpipes from Scotland. So where we're going from here is we're going to get deeper into the AI, deeper into prompting, figuring out how to get the AI to do stuff. And there's some challenges coming up, because it's not just, okay, you get this great prompt, it knocks it out of the park, and you think, wonderful. So maybe, for example, you asked it to write an app. You set up a bunch of agents, and you got this app written. Then what happens when you discover a bug, right? Do you start all over again, because that's the only tools that we've got, or can the AI maintain the code, which is a completely different discipline. And here's where, you start digging in deeper, and here's where prompts get more and more complex, because you don't want the AI to go in and fix this and break that at the same time, because this fix broke that, which is very common in software. So that is going to be very challenging going forward. But I think that's where content that is relevant, content that is around discovery and teaching and training, I think that's where the primary content is going to be. Now, all content should be some level of edutainment. You want to be interesting enough that people are going to take a look at it, and you want to be informative enough that they're going to make, they're going to perform critical thinking, maybe change their minds about stuff. Not all content is going to change everybody's mind, but if people start thinking about things, then that is good content. And that's what, here on Thought Knocks, I aim to get to. I probably have a long way to go, but all the YouTube gurus are telling me just sit here, spit out stuff, see what sticks. So that's the stage that I'm at, and thank you for enduring this. And maybe this will be some of the first content to be completely irrelevant. We'll see. It's going to be interesting where content goes. If I were starting up fresh today, then I would take a really hard look at producing content, why you're producing content, where you're producing content, how you're producing content, because like I say, it's all going to go to the AI, and the AI is going to cut out that middleman layer. So be prepared for that. All right, so just another thing to think about. Thank you.